Good day and welcome back to this new edition of Sir-Kenneth's Talk Show. Today I'll be talking about movies, like superhero movies and various opinions. And I have a very special guest with me on my show today. But before we begin, please you know what to do. Hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you've not yet done so for more content from Sir-Kenneth. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to my show, Kris. He's my cousin, my brother. And today he's here to talk about movies, superhero movies mainly with me. So I did a video, in one of my previous videos, I spoke about superhero movies and how they kind of turned me off a little bit. And the general remark was that they are way too long and very unrealistic. So Kris here is a very big superhero movie fan. So I would like to know why you love this movie so much.
But it's true that they have issues about the length, and it's true they are unrealistic, which is in a way better because they help us escape the worries of reality. But I generally love superhero movies because they inspire us to be better people, and they help us. We relate to them just as they relate to us in what they show in their content, in their media, and I'm usually inspired by them, how they usually stand up or falter and relate and behave towards the injustices that in their world, which are very similar to us, the injustice of such a similar society. Even though it may be extremely hyped up there, we still understand and feel them in our own world. So I'm inspired by superheroes, their courage and moral standards, moral upbringing, point of views, and yeah, I love superheroes. I love superhero movies a lot, and why they made them, and generally for me, most of them anyway are very beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, so I get it. You're a big fan. You're just a huge superhero movie fan. So I would like to do a few case studies. Black Panther. I personally, I've watched Black Panther. Well, not to the end. I'm still to watch it to the end. I tried watching it several times when it just came out because there was so much hype around it, but I wasn't able to because I actually wanted to get the theater experience with that movie, but I wasn't able to. So by the time I got to the theaters, it was already out of theaters. So recently I saw it on TV. I watched it till halfway, and then I fell asleep because it was at night. It was midnight, so I was really tired that day and I slept. It's not like it was in the day and I just fell asleep. So the story, the thing with Black Panther is I actually like the storyline, but what turns me off about the movie is the whole superhero movie aspect, like the flying, the special effects, and that doesn't really impress me. But deep down, I think Black Panther is a good story. It has a good storyline, but just that superhero movie part of it made me not to really like the movie. And I haven't watched the sequel yet. I don't know. What do you think of Black Panther? And have you seen the sequel?
Black Panther, it's one of my favorite movies. When it came out, just as you, I wasn't fortunate enough to watch it in theater, to get the theater experience of it. But I remember being able to watch it on TV, and when I watched it, it was one of the most beautiful movies I've ever made. It's very unique to me because, as you said, the superhero stuff aside, it's such a unique superhero movie because it actually, unlike most superhero movies, it has drama that you don't see in a lot of. It has drama of its own type. There's a reason it was nominated Best Picture in the Oscars. Because of that, for me, because of the sort of drama that it could hold, a family drama in a superhero setting, which made total sense on moreover on black culture, on African culture, though fictionalized but so well represented in different categories. It had a great production design for me, and the cast was fantastic. The storyline was beautiful. It had its Marvel plot holes from time to time, but that could easily be ignored. I really, really loved the movie. It also gave us an idea of a futuristic African territory. Like it could help, it made us, we Africans dream that we could advance. We imagine an African city, but much, much better. Like, it was such a beautiful concept to love, to enjoy, to be in. That's one of the many things I love about Black Panther. And God rest his soul, Chadwick Boseman was a great
Actor.
Black Panther for us. And I also enjoyed this sequel, and I have to say, even that was pretty good. Unfortunately, not more than Black Panther 1.
Okay, so that was it for our case study, Black Panther. Well, in my video, the other video I did about superhero movies, I spoke about other movies like Black Adam, the Flash movie that came out this year, Avengers. Globally they all I had the same critiques for all of them. The length and the visual effects, like especially for Black Adam, because Black Adam the visual effects was really bad. I know I'm no specialist, but I know bad visual effects when I see it, and that was the case for Black Adam. And I heard it was the same for The Flash, which I've not yet seen. But anyway, and I heard this movie too didn't perform really well at the box office. I don't know. The Flash, Black Adam.
The Flash.
So
Black Adam managed. The Flash flopped.
So okay, movie, super. Why did the Flash, in your opinion, why do you think the Flash flopped?
So many reasons why the Flash flopped. The poor running of DC by Warner Brothers, the issues that Ezra Miller, the main actor for the Flash, the issues he caused, the number of times he has been arrested, the things he has done, and how long the production has taken. This is a movie that took years and has been passed from one storyline to another, and the end up with the Flashpoint. There are so many issues with this movie and so many things wrong, and just due to the poor planning of this movie, it has now been so poorly received. And unfortunately, it's not the only DC movie. There's not a single DC movie this year that I think has made 500 million. That is so poor. Neither Shazam 2, neither The Flash, of course, nor Blue Beetle. Black Adam didn't even have such a very bad rep, because it wasn't even released in China and it still made up to 300 million. I don't think The Flash has made up to 300 million, and yet it was released worldwide. And even the upcoming Aquaman 2 movie, this is a sequel to the only DCEU billion-dollar movie, Aquaman.
Do you think the performance will be great at the box office?
It's going to be, unfortunately, my prediction is going to be very, very poor, because there's a whole lot of issues now in DC. The only movie now that can save the DC franchise entirely is a movie that's going to come out in at least 2 years, written and directed by James Gunn. Superman Legacy. The entirety of DC cinema lies on the shoulders of James Gunn on that movie. If not, it's going to be a very bad moment for DC fans like me.
Okay, well, that's really unfortunate, because wow, it's really sad, because the Shazam 2 movie, I actually enjoyed that movie, but it's sad to know that it didn't perform well either. I didn't know that, but I really like the movie though. Yeah, because it's funny. There are a lot of funny moments in the movie, but yeah, so it's sad. It's really, really sad. Okay, so we're almost towards the end of this video, but I'd like to ask you a few questions. I'm a big movie fan, and I know you're a movie fan too. So I'll ask you a few questions about movies, like, who is your favorite actor of all time?
My favorite actor, Samuel L. Jackson.
Well, I have a lot of favorites. But my top two will be Will Smith and Denzel Washington. Yeah. Who is your favorite actress of all time?
Recently, I've had a crush, a cinema crush, should I say, on Natalie Portman.
Okay, that's strange. I thought you were gonna say Wonder Woman, but okay, that's okay. My favorite actress, Viola Davis. Yeah, Viola Davis. But I also have like two other favorites: Angela Bassett and Halle Berry. Yeah. So and Halle Berry is the only actress to have won the Oscar in the lead actress category. The only black actress. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. So I love those three.
Fantastic.
The next question: what is your favorite movie? I know it's a difficult question to answer, but which movie do you think is your favorite movie?
This movie that came out in 2019 that I fell in love with it. I relate so much to it. And it's crazy when you know what that movie is. But I just understand it more and more every day. Joker. It's a DC movie. It's not entirely superhero, but it's a movie, based on Batman IP. It's it's a thrilling psychological movie, and when you get to the end, it's very satisfying. Everything about it, and I anticipate heavily the sequel that's coming out, I guess, next year. Joker 2, Folie à Deux with Lady Gaga.
Okay, so my favorite movie of all time. Well, I love murder mysteries, so I'll go with Murder on the Orient Express and Death of the Nile. I think Death of the Nile was the sequel. Death on the Nile. I love those two movies really much. I think that's like, well, it usually fluctuates at times. My favorite movie, it changes from time to time, but right now, those are my favorite movies of all time. So I don't know. Tomorrow I might see a new movie. I'm like, okay, this is my new favorite movie. But right now, those two are my favorite. Who do you think? The next question is, who do you think? Okay, what is your favorite animated movie?
Toy Story.
Toy Story. Okay.
Sometimes I think Shrek, sometimes I think KFP, Kung Fu Panda, but it's Toy Story. It's always Toy Story. It's one of the first animated movies I watched. It touched my heart to this day. It always touched my heart. I personally believe Toy Story 1 is better than Toy Story 3. I don't care what anyone tells. I understand why you think 3 is better, but I can't see. It always has a place in my heart, Toy Story 1. That's why I see it as the best. That's one of the best animated movies ever, and always my favorite.
My favorite animated movie of all time. Can you guess? My favorite animated movie. Definitely. You should know what my favorite animated movie is. Seriously? No! How can I be Frozen? My favorite animated movie is The Lion King.
Oh.
How could you go get The Lion King? You know how much I love The Lion King. Anyway, that's my
I
favorite.
was thinking of something unique more common, but classic. Classic Lion King is
The Lion King is a classic, and that's my favorite animated movie of all time. Like, no movie will ever top The Lion King on my list for me. Okay. So the next question is, which movie soundtrack do you think is the best, the greatest of all time?
I honestly haven't listened to a lot of music soundtracks to say which one I believe is the best. But in replacement, can I tell you my favorite? Can I?
Yeah, your favorite.
Thank you. There's generally it's Star Wars, especially in New Hope, episode 4. Episode 4, Star Wars and New Hope soundtrack. It's unforgettable for me. That was the first time I watched. The first time I watched Star Wars in New Hope. That was literally my favorite thing. I don't remember any movie that my favorite thing was the soundtrack. I love the soundtracks of other movies, but this one, it was so special. I just enjoyed it every time they played any soundtrack. I love A New Hope. I love Star Wars, and I love the soundtrack. Oh my God, I forgot his name, but he's a genius of a musician. The guy who made the soundtrack, him and John Williams and Hans Zimmer, top musicians. Yeah, great.
And mine is the Bodyguard soundtrack.
Whitney
Houston. Yeah, that's my favorite
God rest her soul.
Of all time. God bless her soul. Really. Final question: which movie franchise is your favorite movie franchise of all time?
But right now, as people and you may have guessed, my favorite, not just movie franchise, but media franchise, which I still try and hold and support despite all the ups and downs it's going, especially in the downs recently. It's DC. I love their superhero movies. I love what they do. I love the characters. They deserve better respect to me, and I hope they gain it eventually with time. Thank you.
My favorite of all time is the Harry Potter movie franchise. Yeah, so that's really my top movie franchise of all time. And it's sad to think that none of the Harry Potter movies ever won an Oscar in like 11 years of them producing the franchise. So, but however, that's my favorite movie franchise of all time. So that was it for today. Thank you again for coming on my show.
And thank you a lot for receiving me. Thank you for the invitation. It's been a wonderful discussion with you.
Okay, thank you. I hope there'll be next time. Until then, please stay tuned to Sir-Kenneth's talk show for more content and see you next time for more content. Stay tuned. Bye.